can poetry and journalism help high school students rediscover their neighborhoods? Local nonprofit, Writers in Baltimore Schools, developed a new program for students called Neighborhoods News, a Poetic Archiving of Baltimore. Patrice Hutton, Executive Director at Writers in Baltimore Schools, tells us more.
Last fall, I took a group of Baltimore City middle and high school students on a field trip to the Baltimore Sun. I was as giddy as the teenagers. I love newsrooms. I interned in one during college and still half hope my career trajectory will land me in one. But in my work as Executive Director of Writers in Baltimore Schools, I found a wonderful compromise. I get to help guide young writers towards careers in journalism. Partnerships with the Baltimore Beat, the late Baltimore City paper, the Merrill College of Journalism, and the Baltimore Sun have become integral to our work. This fall, thanks to Maryland Humanities, Writers in Baltimore Schools will continue its partnership with the Baltimore Sun through a project called Neighborhoods News, a Poetic Archiving of Baltimore. 16 of our writers from Baltimore high schools will dig into the paper's print archives. They'll work with the Sun's enterprise editor, Diana Sugg, and research librarian, Paul McCardle. The young writers will look into the Sun's coverage of their neighborhoods. We'll encourage them to anchor their research around a historical event, a person, or a story. Using the archival material, they'll continue exploring their topic by writing poetry. After that, they'll turn to their neighborhoods and lead poetry workshops in their own communities. The archival material from the Sun will serve as starting text for these workshops. The young writers will encourage community members to bring forward their own text, be it newsletters, flyers, or personal correspondences. This project will push our young writers into a new role, teachers. For the past decade, Writers in Baltimore Schools has offered workshops to the city's young writers. As our young writers bring workshops to their communities, they'll recruit neighbors, family members, and friends as workshop participants. We're grateful that Maryland Humanities has given us the opportunity to pursue our first intergenerational project. We're also grateful that this project will help us pursue one of our core goals, to train our young writers to one day return to the program as teachers themselves. This year, at our Baltimore Young Writers Summer Studio, a week-long residential writing camp, a third of our staff was comprised of program alumni. Neighborhoods News, a Poetic Archiving of Baltimore, will push our high school-aged writers to understand that they can be teachers, and that teaching is a two-way street involving as much listening as it does delivery. We're excited to watch our young writers discover narratives and then interrogate them. We're excited to watch them consider who had the microphone and why. And as these young writers grow up and fill newsrooms in Baltimore and beyond, we're excited to watch as they push the boundaries of storytelling with compassion.
Neighborhoods News, a Poetic Archiving of Baltimore, is funded in part with a grant from Maryland Humanities. Learn more at writersinbaltimoreschools.org. Maryland Humanities is a statewide nonprofit that creates and supports educational experiences in the humanities that inspire all Marylanders to embrace lifelong learning, exchange ideas openly, and enrich their communities. Humanities Connection is produced by Maryland Humanities for WIPR. For Maryland Humanities, I'm Phoebe Stein.